I think he's the longest serving provincial chairperson, and his name is Magashule, and we'll be chatting to him in conversation. And you too have an opportunity at home to put questions through to him. You can either do that via hashtag TNABizBrief on Twitter. You can also email morninglive@sabc.co.za. And also in the studio, Vuyo and Leanne will be taking your tweets at Mbuli Vuyo and at Leanne Manus, and we'll have an opportunity to get those questions from them periodically through this conversation. So let's begin the process, and it's my great pleasure now to welcome the Premier of the Free State to share a few words with us before we begin our conversations. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ace Magashule.
Well, Peter, thanks very much for coming to the Free State. Thanks to SABC and New Age, as well as the sponsors, 49M, Mr. Hlaudi, SABC, Mr. Chosa Chweu, Gary, and our guests today, business people, mayors, leaders from different political parties, the media, distinguished guests, comrades and friends. I thought today I must just talk to you without any speech so that we are able to talk our mind. So I'm not going to focus on the speech so that I can talk and you can engage. And thanks to the viewers out there, our religious leaders are also here. Thanks for this opportunity. I think you are heartily welcome to the province where the ruling party was born 100 years ago. In 2000, the ANC government, or the ANC family, remains in government as the party trusted by the people to ensure that we bring about society envisaged in the 2009 and 2011 election manifestos. You will remember since 1994, the ANC government has been in charge throughout the province, in all municipalities, because the people of this province and the people of South Africa trust the ruling party. And when we took over in 2009, because that's where I must start, so that we move forward to 2012, where we are today. The national government, because we are one country, South Africa, Free State is part of South Africa. We don't see ourselves as a federal state so that we don't have confusion throughout the world. When the world comes here, they come and see 9 countries. We are part of South Africa, and before we are Free Staters, we are South Africans. And I think I must emphasize that point so that there is no confusion as to whether people of South Africa can also benefit in this province. So in 2009, during our election campaign and our election manifesto, you know that we prioritize education. We prioritize health. We prioritize crime and corruption. We prioritize rural development. And as we came in, what we did in terms of education, and for the first time, the president set up a monitoring and evaluation department. When we came in 3 months' time, because education was a priority, we consulted with different stakeholders. We went from various towns and we talked to our people and communities. And as we're engaging, in 3 months' time, we found that there were 1,061 teachers who were temporary. 1,061 teachers. who were temporary. And we ask ourselves a question: why are 1,061 teachers temporary when we need teachers? And we immediately employed those teachers full-time. And that was in line with our election manifesto because we said we should create decent jobs. I'll come to the issue of decent jobs at a later stage. And for us to have more education, we needed better facilities. Within no time, I think in 9 months' time, we opened new 13 schools out of 13 new schools, state-of-the-art schools in our province. We went to those schools because as government, we believe we should not sit in our offices. We went there to see these facilities and satisfy ourselves that the money we have spent was well spent. And indeed, you can go to those schools, you can go to Vicksburg, you can go to Dennisville, you can go to Fijohnskron, you can go to many areas. You'll find that those schools, it was worth spending. It was money worth spent. And we identified in terms of skills development, we realized that in South Africa there is skill development. And if we are not going to stand up as a province and be counted and ensure that development happens, it does not only happen in Johannesburg or in KwaZulu-Natal or in the Western Cape, because that's where our economy is vibrant. That's how apartheid actually planned our economy. You can't blame us. We can't do and change things which have happened over more than 300 years of colonialism in 18 years. But what we did was to say, what skills do we need in the Free State into the future? I can tell you from 1994 to 2009, we have been spending, every department was spending either R1 million or R2 million to give bursaries to students and employees of government who were interested to study and further their studies. So when we came, we said, you can't run government departmentally. You can't have a silo mentality in running the government. And what we did, we said in the first year, we'll spend 254 million, not 10 million, as we have been doing in the past years. 254 million. We took more than 3,000 students to universities, and we did not just take them to universities. We even followed up every year. We go to those universities, we interact with those students, because we are focusing on rare skills. We are focusing on engineers. We are focusing on chartered accountants. We are focusing on skills which are not there in this province. And that's why even now in September, on the 26th of August, I'll be leading a delegation and taking 150 students to Cuba to study medicine, because that's what we need. That's what we need. And in the first year, we gave 54 students who were studying medicine. We gave them bursaries, black and white, because we believe in what we have actually said as early as 1912, Freedom Charter 55, where we said South Africa belongs to live in it, black and white. We want a non-racial, non-sexist, united, democratic, and prosperous South Africa. And that's why if you come to the Free State, you can go to the University of the Free State, you'll find that those students, black and white, are there who are studying medicine, and they are continuing. And we increase the bursaries. This year, we have spent more than 300 million. 300 million. Because we have decided as a province, and when people say you are not addressing the challenges of the youth, we say, South Africa today, there is global economic crisis throughout the world. We must invest in our human resource. We must invest in the future. And the future of South Africa is young people. So the people we are taking to these universities will also be taking more than 100 young people who have studied tourism to the United Kingdom in a month or so. We are supposed to have done it. We said the best thing, 6,000 young people going to school. Education is important. So what they need to do, they need to ensure that we invest into the future. What an investment. I think it's a good thing we have actually done. And in terms of rural development, I know people will complain about incomplete houses. Yes, we are one government, we are ANC government. We started, but you'll know that there were a lot of incomplete houses as we came in. So we are addressing that problem. Why incomplete houses? Because from 94, those people were contractors who built houses. People were given happy letters. Wherever you move, if you are seated in your offices, you'll never know that there are people with happy letters. A happy letter is a letter you get when you get into a house. And when you go there, those people have happy letters, there are no houses. So you'll continuously blame us. But we have said, let's take the blame because this is our government and its continuity. And that's why we are addressing this year. We are not building new houses. We are focusing on incomplete houses so that our people know that indeed we are a caring government and we want to build a caring society. And we said what type of houses we should try and build. You can go to Batu here in Mangaung, Bloemfontein, where people were forcefully removed during those years and they were moved into Batu. If you go to Batu, we have built 60 square meter houses. Same amount of money. Where we have to top up as a province, we said, let's do so. So you can go to Batu, and we decided to focus on small towns. If you go to the Eastern Free State, northern part of the Free State, a place called Cornelia, very small, no future. We said, let us go to such areas where we must inject and inspire and motivate our people, that they are not forgotten. So if you go there, if you go to Jagersfontein, if you go to Van Standesres, if you go to Henneman, if you go to various areas, we said, let us go and inspire our people, give them some hope, because the nation with no hope is dead. So if you go to those areas, if you go to a farm, which we have turned into an agri-village called Diatalawa, if you go to Mahulukwe, if you go to a place we visited during Mandela Day in 2009, called Makekung in Kwaka, that's where we built 70 square meters, because it was all people staying in old dilapidated asbestos houses, a one-room house, asbestos. So we said, no, we can't allow this thing. And go and see the houses we have built since 2009, learning from our weaknesses and challenges and moving forward into the future. And I can tell you, people say we are soft on corruption, and people talk what they don't actually know. Because if there was no corruption, there wouldn't be incomplete houses. There wouldn't be people who have been paid and houses are not there. So you can blame us. But I think for us to deal with these issues and challenges, we have decided to focus on those small towns. And I was told as provincial government, why do you want to build roads in our townships? I said, it's because we want to be like Soweto. Every street must be paved, every street must be tarred. And we started embarking on building roads in our townships, because our townships were ignored for all the years. We were taxpayers, money was never spent in our townships. So you can't blame us. When we start in the first year spending 280 million to build roads in Kronstadt, to build roads in Virginia, to build roads in Paris, to build roads in Kopis, to build roads in Helbron, to build roads in Frankfurt, to build roads in Ottendalspress, to build roads here in Batu, the township, and many other towns. Because we wanted to say to our people, let's move forward. And in moving forward, we said, we are going to make sure that we engage national government. And the best and the good thing which the president has done was to focus on infrastructure. I hear people at times say, President Jacob Zuma has not done anything. What an intellectual who understands the plight of the poor and the plight of the people of South Africa. And we decided that we need to engage national government so that we focus on what the then President Thabo Mbeki said we should have in 2006, the Harrismith Logistic Hub. But we had to go and engage KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. And that's why today, in terms of the 17 priorities, in terms of infrastructure, we are going to have a Durban Free State Gauteng corridor, which will take so many years to be completed. And when you talk investment, investment doesn't happen today. It takes time. And that's why this project will take more than 22 years. Jobs will be created during that process. But you'll see the results. Some of the results will be seen by generations to come, because we are building the future. We are not just thinking about today. Hence Vision 2030, and hence our Free State Growth and Development Strategy, which must be in line with the National Planning Commission, which must be in line with the new growth path. And I think that's why we are here today. We just want to say, indeed, there are challenges, and look what we did. And I think if you set targets, when we came in, metric results, 69%, we said we should move. We moved to 70%, and last year we set our target. We said, MEC, what's your target? Let's talk. Let's not talk theory, so that when we evaluate to MEC education, we should be able to say, have you performed or not? And we all agreed. They said, no, 70%. We said, we have already done it. Let's go to 70, 75. Let's go to 70. Is that reasonable? Is that measurable? Is that realistic? Yes, it's possible. Why not? And we're able to have a 75.7 metric results. And lastly, maybe let me say, I've talked about these things. I've talked about food security, township revitalization. And lastly, I know people are very interested in our municipalities. When we came in, we said we need skills. The Auditor General's office will tell you. We even recruited from the Auditor General's office. We recruited chartered accountants. For the first time, we recruited in our different departments 3 chartered accountants. We recruited chartered accountants. If you go to Mutaka municipality, you'll find a chartered accountant. We have doctors. We decided people have been blaming us and all that we are actually deploying. Nothing wrong with a cadre deployment. For as long as we look at skills, we look at competent and qualified people, because that's what we have said in the Freedom Charter. On merit, we must actually put people. And if you go to our different government departments, sometimes people talk out there without knowing. No, they have employed so and so, and so what? No, they have employed people who are not qualified. Go and check in each and every department. We have so many doctors. I don't know how many of them. Dr. Morosi, Dr. Gabani, Dr. Maharaswa, Dr. Majwa. So many doctors. You can go to municipality, Dr. Mongage, because we have decided. But it is because we are addressing the legacy of so many years. Our municipalities, I always urge, and I'll continue arguing. We have a lot of municipalities which are not viable. Even if you can put me there as the premier of the province, and I've argued even at the President Coordinating Forum, even if you can put a minister there, even if you can put a DG there, you put a DG in Kharib district municipalities, all municipalities there, no tax base, no revenue. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. They budget on deficit. They are not supported. That's how our country and our province was planned and developed. Yes, blame us. This is how you continuously demarcate our provinces. You club together poor areas. You club them together. I have an old man who used to say, Mr. Musipidi the late, why do you bring all the graves together? And you think out of the graves, prosperity will come out. Because that's the case. So you can bring the best. And we can be compliant. Because what is problematic with government is procedures. Even this pen before you buy it. And lastly, let me say, ladies and gentlemen, I know we are one province which is being criticized to say you give business to people outside the province. I'm told we have more than 1,000 people building houses. More than 98% of those contractors are local contractors. And if people of South Africa does work in the Free State, what is the problem? Because we are one country. And I'm sure our business people are doing work in other provinces. We must never close ourselves and think that we are this enclave called the Free State. We are part of South Africa. We are South Africans. And I'm definitely sure we are going to make us and the people of the province and South Africa proud. We'll work hard. There are challenges. We'll spend sleepless nights. And that's why we need support from ordinary people. We need support from business people. Those who have money, we need your money. In the name of Nelson Mandela, we have decided as a province, the 18th of every month must be a Mandela Day. So that all of us, we then work together and build a prosperous South Africa. And I'm definitely sure, and I can see and feel it, that we will build a non-racial province. We will be there. A small step, but a great leap for all of us. With these few words to you listeners out there, thank you very much. We need your support. We need you to be critical, but at the same time, we need you not to ban libraries. We don't need you to ban schools. We need all these facilities so that we build a better future for our children and the generations to come.
So much, sir. Happy to sit there. Thank you. Okay, all right. So thank you very much indeed, Premier, for sharing your thoughts with us and a number of thoughts that you touched upon, discussion points that we will engage with. But let's take a commercial break first, and we'll start collecting some of your questions as well after that. All right, that's it from us for the time being. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us.
Such a pity that clay doesn't make long-lasting batteries, or long-lasting light bulbs, or long-lasting flowers. But Glade does make Glade Sensations gel refills that last and last for up to 30 days. The refills can be used alone or in any Glade Sensations holder. What a pity that Glade doesn't make long-lasting husbands. But for fragrances that last and last, get Glade Sensations and your house becomes a home.
Welcome back to the Odd One Out. All right, okie dokie umpo. You can get all of these for less than 70 cents a day, except one, which is TikTok umpo.